What's going on, you guys? MITCHELL69 here. Now, today we're going to be talking about something very different today. Today we are going to be discussing my life story and how I grew up to be the person I am today. Now, many of you know how I grew on my YouTube business, but many of you don't really know my life story. So today we're just going to be talking about my life story and how I grew up as a child, and just talk about what became me today, really. So, my life. I had a pretty good life. A bit of a tough childhood. It was nothing to do with my parents, don't worry, it was nothing to do with my parents. It was just the fact I just kept getting bullied. But, high school, I was alright, and I'm fine now. But today we're just talking about my life from now to today, so 15 years ago. So, as many of you guys know, my channel name is MITCHELL69. But, I'll start. So, my full name is Mitchell Thomas Ratcliffe. I was born at Burnley General Hospital on the 24th of November 2000, around about 7 o'clock. I can't really remember if it was 7 o'clock. But, yeah, so I was born at 7 o'clock, somewhere around that way. So I was a baby, grew up to go Rascals, infant school, like nursery or preschool, can't really remember what it was called back then. But, so preschool came to pass, and I gone to nursery, and then I went to school. Now, school wasn't all it was cracked up to be when I was a young lad, because when I was a young lad, it was hard for me as a person to make friends, because I didn't really have much of a friendship thing at school. Because basically, if you guys don't know, okay, you don't know, basically, I have this disease called Asperger's syndrome, which unfortunately I've got, and I don't really know if it's treatable. I think it can be one day, but wouldn't that be cool? But yeah, I had Asperger's syndrome. I went to school, and it was really hard for me to make friends, because part of my Asperger's syndrome can also be emotional effects, and it can also lead to people not having any friends. Like, it's really hard and awkward to make conversation when you have Asperger's syndrome, and that's what I had. But I'm getting better as I go along now. I mean, I've got a lot of friends now at high school. But basically, when I grew up in primary, it was hard for me to make a lot of friends, because it was just hard. I mean, with someone with Asperger's syndrome, it was really hard for me in the time of that kind of time to make friends, because believe it or not, I used to get bullied for my Asperger's syndrome, and it was really tough for me because I was having a hard time. So I grew up to not really having much friends. I had a couple of friends, don't get me wrong, I didn't have any friends at all, I weren't just a sado. But I had a couple of friends, but somewhere I just kept getting bullied. I didn't like it. I kept getting bullied when I was in primary, and it didn't really work out for me as much when I kept growing on to year 5 and 6 either. But as I continued to carry on through school, it kind of got better. But I would just keep on getting bullied, and it continued throughout my school time, throughout my primary school time, from year 1 to 6. So yeah, getting bullied a lot wasn't really good for me when I was in primary. But not only that, but something else affected me as a child growing up as well. And that is growing up without a dad. Now, many of you guys don't know this, but I'll just show it you now. This is Philip Ratcliffe, and he was my dad. Sorry, he died from cancer 6 years ago. I think it's 7 years ago this year. But he died from cancer, and he was told he had 3 months to live, and I was only told on the last month that he was going to die. But the one thing that struck me the most was the death date says on here. Sorry, the death date says on here that it was the death date said it was the 26th of November 2009. That was 2 days after my birthday. So he died in this really good place. He died in Pendleside Hospice in Burnley. And all the nurses looked after him. But the only problem was, after it was a hard time with me getting bullied at school, having Asperger's syndrome, and now growing up without a dad or a father figure. So I had to be strong for my brother, for my mum, and especially my granddad, because he was his son. Or his father, sorry. But my brother, he was always helping me out through that time of need. Just saying now, my brother's got a YouTube channel. He does some good dancing videos. Click in the description to find my brother's channel, and it'll be popping up on the description list. But as growing up without a dad was really, really hard. And I thought at that point I couldn't live without him, because he was everything to me, my dad. And that's what basically gave me the sad upbringing that I had. But not only that, but I was still getting bullied after year 6 at 4 when my dad died. It was a hard time for me primary, because I kept getting bullied. And it was hard for me to make friends as well with my Asperger's syndrome. And but as I continued through school, everything seemed to have gotten more better as I went along. But then came high school. Now, high school, the beginning part wasn't that good, because I did get bullied when I was in high school as well. I used to get bullied by a lot of people in high school, but there's something that hit me when I was going to primary. I knew that I had to leave out of it, because the people who bullied me, you know, I just had to learn to accept it, and I have to learn to accept that I have Asperger's syndrome and I can't help that. But as high school went on, things got better. I made new friends. I've got new friends that I hang out with now in the morning. And not only that, but my mum has a new boyfriend now. It's been for about 4 years now, so it's been good having spud around, you know, because it's been really hard with me not growing up without a dad, and it's really been tough. I've had a really, really tough childhood. Growing up with Asperger's syndrome, growing up being bullied, and worst of all, losing your own dad. And there's a picture of him there. But losing your own dad when you're a child, it's just really, really hard. But I've had to learn over the years, while I was continuing, that I had to learn to accept the fact that I do have Asperger's syndrome. Yes, I did get bullied, and yes, I did lose a father, but that's all, but that's all right, because you have to learn to move on, and that's what I did with my life. And look what I did now, because I moved on. I've got my own YouTube business. I've got 103 subscribers, for God's sake. I'm getting liked on Facebook, on Twitter, and even on my Google Plus page. I've got an amazing brother, and I've got an outstanding, who looks after me, who takes care of me. And Mum, if you're watching this, you've been everything to me. You were always there when I needed someone, and you were that person, Mum. Never forget that. So guys, that's basically my life story. So yeah, it was hard for me growing up as a child, but I had to learn to accept that, and I had to learn to accept the fact that I had Asperger's syndrome, but that's alright. Because I grew on to be a YouTuber. I grew on having to accept the fact that I had Asperger's syndrome, but that's alright. Because I knew that I had to accept it. And now my life has just gone better. And now I feel more confident in myself. But although my Asperger's syndrome does tend to still be kicking in, but, well, no, I would say that my Asperger's is still, you know, in me, and I'll always have a problem trying to make new friends as well. But that's alright, but I'll learn as I go on that I'll try. And that's the only thing you can do in life. You can try. You can only try your best. You can only succeed if you can try your best. And that's what I learned from life. That's what I learned from growing up. And look at me now. I am the man I am today. So guys, thank you very much for watching my life story video. Hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and please, please, no dislikes and no bad comments today. I know my videos are crap, but please, this is about my life and my childhood and how I grew on to be this person. So please, no bad comments today. So like I said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to like my Google Plus page, my Facebook page, and also follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to Brad Cubed, Visual YT, Aaron HL, Jacob Samuel TV, Michael the YouTube Gamer, and Quasi Duck. Thank you very much for watching, and from Mitchell69, it's peace out homies, and don't forget to keep it rigid.